to greet you all. As you all know that yesterday it was a Human Rights Day. Let me take this opportunity to wish you a happy belated Human Rights Day. It's better late than never, because yesterday we could not communicate. So I think it's perfect that we take this opportunity to wish you the Human Rights Day. And in any case, this whole month is a Human Rights Month. It is dedicated to that. And in the same breath, today, the President of the Republic is addressing a gathering to celebrate the 25 years of the new Constitution, which is a living document that governs our country. And so perfect timing that we meet today in the Select Committee on Public Enterprises and Communication to consider some of the pertinent issues. I wish to say from the onset, colleagues, that I insisted that we go ahead and hold this meeting. As part of my opening remark, I think I must foreground this point, because as you know, 2 weeks ago, the president reshuffled his cabinet, and this reshuffle has had a direct impact and effect to our committee, because the line function departments that are directly accountable to us were affected by those changes. You will recall that last week we had to postpone one of the meetings wherein the Minister of Culture was expected to make a representation, but due to the changes in the ministerial offices, the two ministers had not yet done a handover one to the other. Similarly, we have a new Minister of Communication and Digital Technologies. He has just assumed that office. And today also is the Cabinet Day with Cabinet committees meeting, and this is where the handover happens between the incoming and the outgoing minister. So this really affects us. So I thought that we may end up not processing some of the things that we ought to have to look at. I'm saying this because we have received an apology from both the minister as well as the deputy minister. They cannot join us, and we had to take a decision whether to continue with this meeting or to put it in abeyance until they are available. I thought we may be overtaken by events if we were to take a stance that says that, no, let's wait for them until they are here. I did reach out to Minister Gungubele, and I did say to him that it was important that he makes a representation here. On the one hand, you will recall that the invitation to this meeting was sent to the previous minister. So by Friday, he had not yet received this communication. And this is an issue of inefficiency in terms of the handover that ought to happen optimally. So in that context, he was not aware until it was very late for him to reschedule his diary. So in a sense, members, I would make a humble appeal that perhaps we can give them a discount because of the transit which has just happened. So many of them are still in transit, and some of them are still trying to settle in. And the issue of the handover is quite very crucial. And because the government is cumbersome in its nature because of the red tape and the bureaucracy, things cannot just happen just like that. And these are very big departments with offices in Pretoria and offices in Cape Town. There's a lot of information that needs to be exchanged. And I'm not trying to speak on their behalf, but understanding governance as you do, because part of the role that we play is also about that understanding. I am not saying that I am dictating as to what must happen, but I'm just communicating a fact that there are things that we need to consider which affect the people at the end of the day. This committee does not serve in service the executives. It serves and services Parliament as it does its work for the people of the Republic. Today, we are expected to consider a presentation from Sentech, for instance. That has a bearing in terms of the expectations from our people on the ground. So I think we must always take a balanced view. And I will insist on my part, as you always insist, that we must make sure that these ministers do come here. But given the recent events, I think we might have to understand that at this juncture, their absence is informed by the recent events which have occurred. That being the case, I wish to declare this meeting open, and at this point, maybe check other apologies other than the ones that have been communicated to us in writing by the minister and the deputy minister, if there are any other apologies. Secretary?
No, Chair, there are no other apologies.
There are no other apologies. So, honorable members, from the communique which was circulated when we're convening this meeting, there are only 2 items on our agenda. It is the presentation by Sentech, as well as the consideration of the minutes of previous meetings. Maybe before I get there, just to check with the Secretariat if we do form quorum.
Yes, Chair, we do form quorum.
Okay, quorum is confirmed for this meeting, especially when we arrive at the point of that item of the consideration of minutes. Members, given the opening statement that I have made, before I invite the department as well as Sentech, I just want to check if members would like to have a bite on my opening remarks in relation to the absence of the minister and the deputy minister, which I have contextualized. We've got a hand from Honorable Debucho Modise. Honorable Modise?
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. And let me greet my colleagues and departments and also Sentech members. Chair, I would like to accept the apologies for Minister and Deputy Minister, because really when you are saying it was last week when the minister, there was a reshuffle in cabinet, and then today the former minister and the current minister are doing handover. Means next time when they come to us, the minister will be having clue what is happening in this department. Because again, for him to come to our meeting today without more information about the department, or when we ask him questions, he won't be able to answer. But if you got the handover, he will be in the position, Chair, to answer all the questions that will be asked. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Modise. I don't see any other hand. I think we are all in agreement. Oh, Honorable Ngwenya, over to you, Mama. You can open your mic.
Thanks very much, Chair, and good morning to all the members. Chair, I accept your input. It's clear, but I've got a question in terms of Wednesday, whereby the ministers, we all know that is their day of their meeting. I wanted to check, Chair, ayikho yini enye indlela or esinye isikhathi esingakhona ukuthi sihlangane ngaso, ngoba it shows ukuthi this Wednesday it's really chair disturbing us, because really on some of the issues we need the minister or the deputy minister. But if ourselves were busy programming and clash with their meeting, meanwhile, we know very well that Wednesday they are sitting. How best can we do this? Question yami lapho nje Chair, ukuthi how best can we do this to accommodate them? Thank you.
Yeah, I think Mamungwenya, you are asking a very critical question, because indeed Wednesdays are days that are preserved for the cabinet meeting as well as cabinet committees. And I think as a committee, we might have to reconsider this date, because we will always clash with cabinet at all material times. And I think this is either setting up the ministers for failure or setting us up for failure. So we have to make a call and actually call out the bluff and begin to reconsider this date, because I also raised this question. I do not think that we must be married to dates to the extent that it looks like we are religious about Wednesday as the only day wherein the select committee can meet. I think it's food for thought. We must think about it. We must look at alternatives. It is not something that I think we can resolve today, but obviously, I think you are pointing us in the right direction, that very soon, as we begin the new financial year, we must definitely look at an alternative in order for us to make a way forward. Thank you very much, Mamungwenya. I think that proposal is well considered. I think your question is more than just a question. It's more a clarion call for us to reconsider Wednesdays. Thank you very much. I see
Thanks, Chair.
the hand of, thank you, Mamungwenya. I see the hand of Honorable De Bruin. Honorable De Bruin?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Good morning. I just for clarity's sake, I just want to make sure. So basically, if we continue with this meeting today, what's going to happen is we're going to hear the presentation and we're going to reserve questions for the next meeting where the minister is available. Do I understand that correctly?
Well, if there are political questions which the Honorable De Bruin, if there are political questions which the officials and bureaucrats cannot handle, we can park those questions, but questions of clarity, which are based on technical matters that are related to the work of Sentech, I think the officials will deal with those questions. But as you know, officials are always very careful to handle political questions. So from that score, I do not think that the meeting will be unproductive, because I think the majority of things will relate to the work of Sentech and how we want to see things happening for the benefit of the people and the country at large. So that's how that would be my answer to your question. I hope you are covered by that. Thank you, Honorable De Bruin. Members, I think we have exhausted the hands, and I think we have clarified all the issues that were raised. I would like to now take this opportunity to invite Sentech to make its presentation, which was shared with us. This presentation was shared with us quite very late, honorable members, but it was shared yesterday. I must just caution the officials of Parliament that it is important that these presentations are shared with us in good time. But the issue with them was that they were still waiting for the input from the ministry. And given the explanation that we have made then of the changes which have happened, it also delayed the sharing of this particular presentation. I now wish to hand over to Sentech and the department to lead us in the presentation.
Chair, my hand has been up.
Oh, I just only see it now because it was not up, Honorable One. Okay, Honorable Member. The floor is yours.
Good morning to yourselves and
Good morning, Honorable
other
Member.
members of the committee and the department.
Hmm.
Chairperson, I was extremely reluctant to speak on this matter because it's been a while since we, as a committee, never had this type of a discussion. Every time when we get into our committee, it's always a matter of a politician not attending a meeting. It's always a matter of an apology because of the ministers being in a meeting. Ministers cannot attend because of this and that. We are faced with a similar problem today. I'm afraid if we don't speak up against this thing, it's going to be a norm, as it has always been with the previous minister, that they are not attending our committee, select committee meetings, and it's okay to do that. I'm afraid if we don't speak up against this thing, Chairperson, it's going to continue. We cannot have a meeting where a department is going to present and the political head is not present, and we accept that it's normal, it can continue. We can pause with other questions for the politicians to come and answer in the next meeting. It is absolutely incorrect for us to even allow them to come to the select committee without their political heads. I was hoping that you would give us guidance and say, this is a new minister who's waiting for a handover. I don't know how long this handover is taking place, but we need him in this meeting to give guidance to the department, to also show some respect to this committee. We are not accounting to this minister, the minister accounts to us. The minister should have been here, irrespective of what. The handover should have happened even earlier than this meeting. You cannot make an excuse that there's a handover, therefore you can't be present in the meeting. It's wrong, Chairperson. It's wrong at all costs. We cannot be undermined like this. I was going to propose that the department be sent back. The minister must come back here after that handing over, even if this meeting is postponed for hours or so. But it's virtual, it can happen. The minister must be part of the meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mukausa, I hear you quite very well, and we understand where you come from. And I think the points that you are raising were raised even in a meeting which we had with SABC. And I fully understand what you are saying. My only worry is that if we were to postpone this meeting, we also have an issue of limited time. We serve here at the behest of the people that we represent. If now we postpone this meeting, we don't have a knowledge how long is this cabinet meeting is going to take, or the cabinet committees. It may be a full day thing. So it doesn't depend to us at this point as to when we can have. But I think the points that you are expressing were expressed by the members quite very robust late last year. And we concur with you that we don't report to the minister reports to us. But we're saying in order for our work to go forward, we can give them a discount today, given the fact that there was a cabinet reshuffle recently. And we take a view that going forward, we will not allow that to happen. We will make sure that at all material times that they are here. And it is for that reason that we're even considering changing this date to another one. I mean, the day of our committee meetings from Wednesday to another date, so that we are able to, to eliminate or alleviate the problem of our meetings clashing with the cabinet. So we are combating with a superstructure like that. And I don't think it's necessary for us to continue with this date, given the fact that Wednesday is problematic. So I would appeal to you, therefore, honorable member, that having made all those considerations, we allow this meeting to continue, but agree that going forward, we take a view that says that no meeting will happen without a minister and a deputy at least. So I think we had already resolved that matter. Thank you, Honorable Mkaus. I see that Honorable Nana is also raising his hand. Honorable Nana, you also want to make a contribution?
Yes.
You are welcome, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Chwanini, and good morning, honorable members. Last week, on the 14th of March, it was a Tuesday, we received a WhatsApp from Amanda. Dear honorable members, due to the recent cabinet reshuffle, which has affected the ministry and department of COGTA, we are unable to proceed with the meeting that was scheduled for Wednesday, 15 March 2023. There has not been a handover between the outgoing and incoming minister, and this has a bearing on our program. I regret to inform you that we have to postpone the select committee meeting to a date that will be communicated as soon as possible. Kind regards. I am reading this WhatsApp, knowing fully well that last week it was COGTA. This week, it's communications. You see, Twanin, I will not accept to be treated like a child. Lando's tucha. I can never accept that. How long does a handover take? When was the cabinet reshuffle done by the president? Does it take 2 months? Does it take a year? Does it take a week? Or it's a matter of days? And if you are arguing that the minister is not here because of handover, essentially you are saying to us that Minister Kumubele has not assumed his roles and responsibilities just yet. And that is not true, Tony. You cannot try and swivel out of this thing. We have had numerous discussions about this. You know, I was listening to you and Honorable Modise seconding one another, trying to swivel out of this trouble. And unfortunately, you can't. We've been here before. We have taken a decision, and we are correct last year, that there is no way we will entertain the executive committee presentations either by the department or the entities without the politician. We have that decision. We don't need to make it. We took that decision last year. So I find it bizarre, and I mean, we're not kids, man. You can't treat us like this. You can't try and dance around this thing. If there is no member of the executive on the platform, we've said it before, let Sentech and the department go back. You can reconvene us at 8 o'clock tonight when the minister is available. We're on Zoom after all. We cannot be continuously saying this thing all over and all over again. I will say it for the last time to you, Twanin. You teach a person how to treat you. When that person treats you exactly in the manner in which you have taught him, you start to complain. We've had the same problem with the outgoing minister. We had the same problem with the Minister of Public Enterprises. And until, as the committee, we set our foot down and say enough is enough, we will continuously be treated like trash by members of the executive. And that's unacceptable, unfortunately. So I do support what Honorable Makauso is saying. It's wrong, it's wrong. Thank you.
Honorable Nana, I think we are saying the same thing. Where we differ, it's just the issue that we should shelve this item because that does not put us in good light at all, given the magnitude of things that we have to handle. But we don't have any reason as well to want to swindle things in favor of the minister as if there's something to hide on our part or we are championing a wrongdoing. No, we can't do that. We are also having a responsibility to make sure that we have a working committee, a committee that is able to produce fruitful results. All we are saying is that we all know that this is the first cabinet meeting that is occurring after the reshuffle. So I don't think that we want to make fool of our colleagues. We are all in agreement, fully in agreement with what you are saying. But my worry as the chairperson of this committee is that if we're to send back Sentech with the hope that we will meet again this evening, something that is not within our authority to make it happen, given the fact that we still have to speak to third parties, it's not helping us. This meeting may be gone and be gone for good. We are left with 1 year and 3 months in office. We lost an opportunity with the SABC, and I know that they were going to give us an exit report. We never saw that exit report. And history tends to repeat itself. So I want to appeal to the members that we will communicate this strong message to the minister and deputy minister. And we don't have to buy faces. We're not buying their faces. We don't represent their offices here. We represent our constituencies. We represent our provinces. We represent our people. And that's why we are saying that the matters that we have to be seized with, flowing from the presentation by Sentech, are matters that we ought to process. Because if we postpone them, then we are postponing service delivery as well. And I think, members, let us not make suggestions that some of us are trying to protect irresponsibility. Not a chance. It will not happen under our stewardship. We fully respect you, even though you come from opposition branches. We cannot allow this committee to be reduced into a state of nothingness. We share your sentiment fully and honestly. And therefore, I will do everything in my part as the chair to communicate your message to the minister. As I indicated, that I also reached out to him, and the issues were that the communication came at the last moment when already there was this. But also we are trapped here, which I want to emphasize, by the fact that our committee meeting is always scheduled on Wednesdays, and Wednesdays are problematic. And so I think I have communicated that. I'm not trying to defend anybody here. Let me recognize the hand of Zayton.
You can speak. Thank you. A very good morning. Apologies, Chair. Very good morning to you, Chair. Very good morning to the honorable members. I want to apologize firstly for joining from Zayton's.
You're from the department, Sentech, no?
No, Chair, I'm sorry, it's the acting DG, Nonkubela Jordan Gyani. I just landed this morning.
Okay,
I was out of.
Just hold on. We are still prefacing the discussion towards considering your presentation. So just hold it there, and we will come back to you. We will invite you when we are ready for you.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable members, I see a hand of Honorable Modise. Is that a heritage hand? I also see the hand of Honorable Nana and Honorable Mukausa. I see all your hands. Do you, Honorable Modise, do you still want to say something?
No, Chair, thank you very much. Chair, you have covered me a lot, because we are aware as this committee, last year we took the decision to say, if the political head are not in the meeting, we cannot continue. But for today, Honorable Chair, it's not like other days when the ministers are fully occupy the office, they are aware what is happening to their department. This is something new. And you know very well, I'm one person that I don't accept when the ministers are not there. Chair, I will plead with my colleague to say, we know that committee of us, we have a lot of departments. It's 5 departments, if I'm not mistaken. It's 5 departments, and this time we don't have time. We are rushing. We are facing many bills. Even in this committee, we are facing the bills. And then to say the Sentech and department must go back, I really plead to say, let us not do that. Let us use this time and this opportunity to be in the meeting, to get information, so that when we go back to our constituency, we are aware what is happening in the department. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Modise.
Chairperson.
Yes, Honorable Nana, I want to recognize Honorable Mukausa. Her hand has been up. I thought it was a heritage hand. Honorable Mukausa, is that a legacy hand?
No, Chairperson. Chair,
Okay, over to you.
I hear what you are saying. You've been sending the strong message since you got here, Chairperson. And the attitude still continues. It's not only with this committee, it's also with the Select Committee on Public Enterprise. We took that decision that we are not going to give a chance to a department if the political head is unavailable. The previous minister did that. This one is also going to do that. I'm going to propose that we stick to our decision. The way in which Honorable Modise is being treated in her own select committee, it's precisely because of allowing such attitudes to continue from the ministers. It cannot be that a whole reshuffle, is now put on the shoulders of the select committee to bear the consequences. I agree with Honorable Nana. We are not kids. And we can't be told that we're going to miss this type of an engagement. It will be deliberate that we miss it. And if it doesn't happen like the SAPC didn't happen, It must be squarely put on the blame of the minister and their departments, not us. We are available for them. They come here from time to time without the political heads. They are there as senior officials to also advise these political heads the importance of being here. We cannot be bullied into listening to a department without the political head. Let us stop protecting these people. If this opportunity is missed, must be communicated out there that it's the irresponsibility. It's an irresponsible manner of the minister why we missed this opportunity. The select committee was available. We can't be bullied like this, Chairperson, and it must come to an end. I'm also addressing you, Honorable Modise, as a chairperson of a select committee who's forever wanting to bully us into agreeing with such attitudes from ministers. We're not going to agree. Therefore, I still stand on my proposal that the department must be sent packing and come back with their political heads. We can't be bullied, Chairperson, and we are not kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mgause. Honorable Nana.
Thanks, Chairperson. Chairperson, I thought in your response, you were going to try and give us an answer as to how long does a handover takes, considering the fact that cabinet reshuffle was done about 2 weeks ago. Do you suggest to us that Minister Kungubele hasn't reported for duty yet? And the answer surely is no. And this is where I'm saying, don't treat us like kids, because we're not kids. We can think, we can see through some of untruths. We can see through them. And the other question that I now have, which I think the committee must address, are we turning our back on a resolution of this committee? Are we now suggesting that because it's so-and-so and this and that, let's revisit the resolution of the committee? Please give us clarity, Chairperson. Where's on those in Benema? We're not kids. We're not kids, man. It's really a laughing matter, Twanin. We're not kids.
Oh, no. We are not.
It can be. Let me finish. It can be. Let me finish. It can be that two weeks plus there is no handover in a department, and if that is true, then it explains why our government is in such a mess. Please, can I get clarity on the two questions I've just asked?
No, thank you, Honorable Nana. Of course, this is not a laughing matter, and we cannot allow ourselves to be reduced into kids. We are not kids, and we all want to be taken very serious. And I will repeat to say we share the sentiment expressed by yourself as well as other members. On the question of the handover, there were no cabinet committee meetings last week. And of course, the ministers have assumed the full duties after their appointment. They have been taken through orientation of the respective areas of their responsibilities. We are quite aware of that. But the scheduled cabinet meetings and cabinet committee meetings happens on Wednesday. We understand that this is their first cabinet committee meetings that are taking place today. And this is where things are to happen. So the handover issues happened at different levels, Honorable Member. And as I say, please also don't want don't make me the spokesperson of the executive. These are issues that I understand out of the experience, out of our own interaction with government at an executive level. And secondly, insofar as our resolution that we took at that point in time, it was in a specific context that we were dealing with a matter that has been happening over a period of time with the same minister, as it was suggested that she had not appeared before us in a long, long while. But I do not think that we had romanticized that matter, that even in a different context, we cannot consider this one, given the fact that there are urgent issues that flow out of this. But if members are insisting that the departmental officials that are here, that are responsible for the actual implementation of government plans, that they will not be allowed to do this presentation because the ministers are involved in a handover situation. If we don't want to give that particular context, that we throw the baby with the bathwater, even when we know that there are issues that are quite very urgent that we would like to consider, then if the members are insisting on that, whatever context, the department officials should be sent packing. And also that language, I think we should tone down on it, because the officials have done nothing wrong. They are here. They are fully committed. They have prepared these presentations on behalf of the institution that is to present to us. And I think also we must use a language that is cordial when we refer to the officials, because they are employed by the state, they are appointed to execute, and they will serve and service whoever is a political appointee, irrespective of the political party. And I think if we may have just that responsibility as well, that the language that we employ must be constructive when in respect of the officials, because one day Honorable Nana would be a minister himself, and therefore he would not like to stifle the relations between himself and the officials by a historical discourse where you made reference to them in a manner that is condescending.
But Chair, I wouldn't refer to officials in my input. I haven't.
No.
I've always been directing my input towards the minister.
No, I'm just making an example, Honorable Nana. I'm not saying.
No, but
I'm not
remember,
saying
Chair, remember, Chair, these meetings are aired on TV. We've got journalists here. This thing may be misconstrued as if I have attacked government officials. I haven't.
No,
So
but
please,
you are saying that we must send the department packing. That's what you said.
I never used the word. I never used the word. It was Makause. I never used the word.
All right,
You should
Honorable.
go back to the Hansard, Chair. I never used the word. They must be sent backpacking. No,
Okay.
I've never used.
I'll go back to Hansard. Okay. So members, I would want to say that if you are insisting that we should not have this, I cannot dictate upon you. I was making a humble appeal, given the context, and I think we all know the facts before us, that we have had this cabinet reshuffle, but the importance of what the implementers of policy at government level, the officials, the bureaucrats, are here. Yes, the ministers are not here, and they ought to be here to make introductory remarks and give context to the presentation that is to be made. But the actual meat of what is to be presented to us is going to be taken through by the officials of state. So I was saying that, why don't we give the newly appointed minister a discount to say that he is in that first cabinet committee meeting where he has to have a full appreciation of a handover. And we are not saying that to protect him. And then we can take it from there. I don't want us to be harsh to a point wherein we may also be seen to be unreasonable, not by the minister, but by the whole of the country that is listening to us, that we are unable to consider such an important urgent report which is for the benefit of the citizens that we represent. And we're saying that let's postpone it for another day. That's my appeal. So I will be making a ruling very soon. Honorable Mukause?
Chairperson, I'm not going to deny anything that I've said here because it's on Hansard. I have said it, and I'm still going to repeat it. We have taken a decision as a committee that we are not going to consider any departmental presentations in this cluster of ours without the political heads. We have taken that decision. Now, I have said the department must be sent packing and they must bring back their ministers to come and account with them here. I don't understand when we speak against these things, you take a swing and try to protect these ministers together with the departments. Why? We don't have any business, some of us, in protecting them. Absolutely no. So I'm still standing on this proposal that the minister must be present. We can't be subjected to mediocrity. We can't be subjected to laziness, where we are told that a handover can take more than 2 weeks. That is absolutely laziness. And we are being treated like kids and we are not going to allow it. You'd sit on different platforms of the NCOP, which speaks about programming of committees. Why are we still subjected to Wednesdays? When we have raised this matter a long time ago about this day that clashes with cabinet meetings. But today is not about a cabinet meeting. Today is about a handing over, which we received a WhatsApp last week already that we're unable to proceed because of the very same issue. Now today we come back here and we are subjected to this mediocrity. Chairperson, it's unacceptable. Some of us are not going to accept it. If in your own formation there you are accepting this, not with us, the minister must be here when this presentation is made. And if we lose this opportunity, it must be put out there in public that it's not because the committee was unavailable. It's because the minister keeps on receiving a handover, which we don't know. What type of dossier is that? What type of briefing is that? That will take a month to happen. The minister must keep his house in order and come back here and listen to the department and respond to us. Thank you.
Honorable members, I wouldn't want us to really take this matter to a situation where we really have to vote about it. So let me rather check with other members if they are of the view as well that we should, and I will ask the members that have not spoken. Mamungwenya, what is your view?
Thanks, Chair. Chairperson, as I raised this issue at the beginning, it's because I was wanting us to correct this day. And I was not raising it because I want us not to continue with our work today. I was raising it, Chair, because now there are changes in a cabinet and also that have affected our work. And at the very same time, when we start, still was still starting with the challenge that we were having before on the previous minister. My view, Chair, as we did discuss this, and you said you are taking all our complaint and you are going to raise it to the new minister. I was thinking that Chair, we must adopt that and agree, but continue with our work. So I was not raising it because I want us not to continue with our work today. I want that Chair to be on record. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama Ngwenya. Mama Bibi? Mama?
Yes, Baba. Good morning, Baba. Greetings to the members of the platform and also the department. No, my one, Baba, yes, we've been discussing this issue for quite some time, of which it doesn't seem to be resolved, but with powers invested in you, Chairperson, I think it will be proper, really, for these issues to be discussed before coming to the meeting. Since we have got too many different views, and we end up not coming to the real consensus of the matter. I concur on what Mama Ngwenya was saying, of which I think on your side, we should rectify these issues. For me, I would like us to continue with the meeting, even though our political principles are not there. Why I'm saying that is because of time. We've prolonged these issues in this in this department meeting for quite some time, of which I think the chairperson can speak to them aside for the last time, that these mistakes mustn't come up each every now and again when we're supposed to be busy with the issues, especially when we're here. We are not here for ourselves, but we are here for the communities out there who are waiting for us to do the work. So for me, Mhlekas, i-meeting lena ingaqhubeka ngoba bakhona ahamba esifuna ukuva ngabo ngo-Sentech nayo yonke into. Kuthi-ke mhlambe-ke xa kufikelela lapho-ke ufana uthethe uprincipal apho. Ngisisheva eceleni-ke le, kodwa-ke umnyombo wayonke into ofanele ukuthi ithethwe namhlanje ngoba sebantwini and asinalo ixesha lenye i-meeting at least just for us to hear the gist, I mean, of the meeting itself, ukuthi yona ihamba kanjani. Umba wokungisi ko-principals abo bethu hayi into esingayishuka emva kwemhlangano lo esinawo. Elami linjalo-ke igalela-ke Mhlekazi, Nkosi yesisu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable VP. Honorable De Bruin, can we also have your view?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Chair, I will have to agree with Honorable Makausa and with Honorable Nana. I think we must make a stance and request the ministers to be present with these type of meetings.
Thank you, Honorable De Bruin. Can we hear Honorable Modise?
Chair, I still repeat my statement to say, can we continue with this meeting of today and plead with my colleagues, Honorable Nana and Honorable Mamkausa, to say, let's continue. And if I recall very well, Honorable Chair, we were saying if the principals are not in the meeting, but the head of department is in the meeting, we can continue with the meeting. So the head of department is in the meeting today. So can please Mama Mkause and Baba Nana, let's continue with this meeting of today. Thank you very much.
Can I request Honorable Mahwala? Maybe Honorable Mahwala does not want to say anything. Honorable members, I think we have to take a difficult decision that unfortunately, I would say,
Sorry, Chairperson. Sorry, Chairperson. Honorable Makwan.
Yeah, yes, Honorable one. I thought you.
Yes, I have something to say. Chairperson, as I was listening to everyone and that they were speaking about the politician that is not here in the meeting, I would strongly also support my chief whip Mukause for the meeting not to continue, because I think previously as a new member, they had the resolution about such things. And I don't know, Chairperson, if we are going to set the presidency of saying that the previous resolutions can be cancelled in such a committee, and members are raising critical issues. Sometimes it's not all about the numbers in the committee, because now you are trying to push this thing into a vote because you have the numbers in terms of voting. But sometimes you have to listen to other voices that they are raising in such of this thing. I don't know how long must we wait for the handover to be done by the ministers. It was not us as members that have changed the cabinet, but now it's dragging longer and longer. There are certain bills that are still standing, but we have to wait for the ministers until they hand over. I don't know how long does it take to do a handover. I think it takes only one meeting, one day. You sit through with your DG, with your former minister and the current minister, and do all these things. But if we are not taken serious by the new minister and the old minister, but why must we continue with the work while they are not taking us very much serious? That is my 2 cent landlord opinion, Chairperson.
Now, thank you, Honorable Mahwala. I'm sorry, I thought that the system might have kicked you out. I was just about to make a resolve now about how we should move forward. Honorable members, we did indicate that the minister is in a cabinet committee meeting. And we did say that Wednesdays are trapping us into a situation where we have to compete with these cabinet meetings and cabinet committee meetings. Both the minister and the deputy minister are not able to be with us today. Due to that, and more importantly, that there's been some changes which have been effected in the cabinet. And therefore, it's a period where there is an exchange of information between the incoming and the incumbents, the outgoing ministers. So I'm saying that I was giving an opportunity, I was avoiding the issue of taking this matter to a vote, because I agree that we don't need to vote about this matter, but I wanted all the members to express themselves so that then we can take a resolve as to how we move forward. We have to take a difficult decision to
My hand is up before you
Yes,
conclude,
I've
Chairperson.
noted your hand. Yes, I've noted. Just allow me to finish speaking. I've taken a view, given the fact that I've listened to all the members of the committee, that I have to apologize to the officials that were here on time to come and make a presentation on Sentech. Today we will not allow them to make the presentation on Sentech, and we will release them from the meeting. But our meeting as the committee will continue because we have other items of the agenda. So we are not collapsing this meeting. The meeting will still continue. And I want to further say to the members that I think it is only appropriate that perhaps if we want to discuss this matter further, let's release the officials and then we can have our own discussion. It's no point that they are sitting and listening and we are taking a view. We have now taken a resolve that we must release them. We will make another arrangement for this presentation on Sentech to be presented to us when the minister and the deputy is present. So on that score, I wish to request the officials to leave the meeting. We will communicate with them in the normal way we communicate with their respective offices. Thank you, DG, for having come with your delegation. And as I say, our secretariat will be in touch with you. We will communicate as well directly with the minister and the deputy minister to find a suitable time very soon so that we can consider this report from Sentech. Thank you very much. Let's just allow them to leave, and then Honorable Mkause, I'll give you the opportunity once they have disconnected, and then we can carry on with our meeting.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, TJ. I think they have exited. So that item falls away of Sentech. Members, I think we are now left alone in this meeting. Maybe it's an opportunity to really take a firm step as to what we want to do so that we don't have different interpretations about our resolutions. So I am also of the view that, as Mamu people was saying, that sometimes we ought perhaps to meet in camera as the committee before we come to a platform like this, where we take certain decisions, given things that were supposed to happen and they didn't happen. We had this item on the agenda on the presentation of Sentech. We're also going to consider our minutes. I don't know if members still want to have a bite, because I think we agree with the arguments that are advanced. And I think both arguments, those members were saying that let's continue with the presentation, and those were not saying we mustn't. Both of them are substantive and are actually carrying rigorous canons of logic. We're just worried about time on this matter. Of course, we would like to communicate a very strong message to the political heads that it's important for them to come in person or to connect into meetings like this as we meet on a virtual platform, so that they can lead any discussion or any report that is expected from the institutions. I don't think we are divided on that. Where we might have a difference is the interpretation of resolutions. For instance, we take a stance that says that under no circumstances that we should entertain reports or presentations from departments without a minister or at least a deputy, so that we don't have one member saying this, another member saying that no, if the DG is there, we could still consider this. Honorable Mkause.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay, thank you.
Chairperson, I don't know what kind of an interpretation is that we just heard. that if the DG is available, therefore we are going to consider a presentation from the department. It was never a resolution. We said if political heads, both the minister and the deputy ministers, are not available, we're not going to consider anything. And my concern, Chairperson, I'm glad that you actually asked the department to leave and we speak on our own. We are creating a picture that opposition parties do not want to be a part of a meeting if political heads are not there. Members are creating that picture to the department. It's wrong, Chairperson, because we have taken this resolution as a collective, not as the EFF and the DA combined. We have taken this as a collective in a committee. Therefore, we cannot change when we see the senior officials of government here and then other members want to portray themselves as the messiah in the committees and they want to shy away from a decision that collectively we took. It's wrong, Chairperson. It's wrong what just happened. You know, sometimes if we don't want to abide by our own decisions, let us just say so, but not create a picture about other political parties. It is wrong. And the way we have been treated in the committees of Honorable Modise, she has actually allowed it. I'm taking this platform to also address this. She has allowed it because she continues in meetings, allowing these departments to continue without the political heads. It's wrong, Chairperson. We are not assisting ourselves here. We're assisting you to be able to be recognized and be respected. It's not on our credit. It's on the credit of this select committee to be respected, and ministers must know when they've got to come and account, they must find time. I'm going to propose to you to strongly speak to programming, to find time for the Wednesday meetings, not always put you under the bus with Wednesday's meetings, knowing that this particular day and time won't be conducive for your meeting to happen. Chair, I don't think it will be wrong for you to canvass a view that we even meet in the evenings if the mornings are not conducive for yourself. I don't think it's wrong, but Chair, I fully agree with you. The work of the committee must continue. We are not representing ourselves, we are representing our constituencies. So let's look at all the avenues, look at all the possibilities of having our meetings without any disruptions of other committees like the cabinets disrupting our meetings like this. Thank you, Chairperson.
Honorable Mukause, thank you very much for your contribution. And you are also emphasizing the point that Honorable Ngwenya proposed about reviewing Wednesdays as the day for this select committee meeting. And I also agreed to that. And it is a matter that we did discuss last year. We'll strongly look into it. And I think it's a very constructive proposal, which will help us a long way in resolving situations like this. Honorable members, I don't see any other hand. I wish that we should not have a situation like this in future. And I think we have all had our views. We will, in future, if the minister is completely unable and the deputy is totally unable to attend, we will simply have to reschedule that meeting. And I think that's what we should be saying to complete that particular resolution. So what it says is that all our meetings, we must make sure that the political heads are here, either the minister or the deputy at least. So I think we are in agreement on that score. So I would then suggest that we move forward. And I was actually also very uncomfortable that we discuss this matter in the presence again of officials. I think it doesn't augur well with our ethical conduct and professional way of dealing with matters. So I think in future we shouldn't do this. If we know that we are going to find ourselves in a situation like this, I think we'd rather have a discussion in camera. So members, I suggest then that we move to the second item on the agenda, the consideration of the minutes of the previous meeting. Amanda, can you beam those minutes? Honorable members, I would also be of the view that the minutes were shared with us in advance, and in order to expedite the processing of the minutes, members are very much free to raise any discrepancy that they might have seen on those minutes and any correction that needs to be looked at. I don't see any reaction from you, Ahmad. Oh, there they are. Here are the minutes of the meeting of the 21st of February. Is there any issue that members, can you go to the second page? The members may, Honorable Mkause, your hand is up. Is that the legacy hand, or you want to raise something about the minutes?
No, sorry, Chair, it's a legacy hand. Let me lower it.
Okay, cheers. Can you move down, Amanda? Members, I mean, you are free as well. You don't have to wait for the technology to lead us. You have had a full appreciation of the minutes. I just wanted to go into that page so that members can see themselves that they are captured correctly on them being present and others being absent. Move down.
If Chair,
Yeah, well, Honorable Nana.
please can Amanda correct the surname?
Yes, can you please remove the L's? It's not Ntlahla, it's Nana. I think April does not recognize Nana, it recognizes.
Thanks.
Thank you, that correction has been effected.
Nana chocolate.
Move down.
Mama Ngwenya.
Sorry, is it Zindlani or Zindani? Is it again a question of April not recognizing properly your surname? You will correct that. Move down. It seems that members do not have issues to raise. Can we have a mover for the adoption of these minutes?
Thanks, Chair. It's Ngwenya.
Yes, Mama Ngwenya, you are recognized.
Chair, I adopt the minutes with the amendment of Honorable Nana. Correction. Thank you.
We have a mover. Honorable Mama Ngwenya is moving for the adoption of the minutes with the amendments being corrected. Nisaganda?
BB seconds, Chairperson with amendments. Thank you.
Mubibi is seconding the adoption of the minutes with those amendments being corrected. Thank you very much, Mama. Honorable members, these were the two items that we had in our meeting. And allow me to make a concluding remark by saying that we will reach out to the ministry and get a new date for this meeting. And we will also consider having this meeting earlier or even later in the day, as soon as we get a date that would fit in our own diary as a committee. Secondly, we are going to work quite very speedily on reviewing Wednesdays. Look at an alternative date for our, on an alternative day for our committee meeting. That being said, members, I want to thank you for your patience. I think much as it was a very difficult discussion, it was a very necessary discussion for us to have today so that we can have a result, so that we may not have a repeat of the same thing into the future. We know now what we have to do and we're quite very clear. We thank you very much, members. I wish to say the meeting stands adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thanks, Chairperson. Nana.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, have a great day.
Chocolate.
Thank you.
Have a great day, Mam Kausa.
Nana. Doctor chocolate. Choki?
I need Choki.
Yeah, we're done. Bye.
Recording